Live from all over this beautiful land, this is the Testosterone Zone with the fine men, Noel, Keith, and Steve. Take it, boys!
And welcome to the 14th episode of the Testosterone Podcast. This is Noel, and I'm with my bud Steve and Keith.
Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome, dudes.
Glad to be back, guys.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
we've got a good show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about a new twist on our very popular bit, the Teenage Correspondent. We're going to kind of switch things up a little bit. We're going to talk to y'all about that. And then I am going to be giving some tips on how to buy a new car. I've bought several over the so many years or whatever we've been buying cars and stuff, and so kind of have a little technique that I use, and it's worked well for me. So I'm going to share some of the tips on that.
Hey, I'm good for that one. I got a daughter we're fixing to have to buy a car for. I'm all ears.
Man, it's a necessary evil. Nobody likes to buy cars, and
No.
I found a way that you can stay out of the dealership and not have to play the back and forth game, and actually you can save quite a bit of money.
I'm all over it.
Yeah. And then Steve's going to share a kind of a wacky story that he found on the internet this week, and then we're going to go through. We'll have some jokes and some fun along the way. So, Steve, how's the weather in Alaska these days?
I tell you what, it has rained for 2 weeks straight. It is actually not raining right now. As soon as we started the podcast, it stopped raining and sun actually came out a little bit, but it has been raining nonstop. Keys, how's the weather your way?
You know, have you ever had those weather days that you're just like, I wish it would stop this? Have y'all ever had that? Yeah, that's
yes.
every day here.
Yeah.
Noel, how about with you?
Hot and moist, if you can believe it.
I'm stunned. Always
You
stunned.
got many days of that ahead of you.
Yes, moisture and moisture.
It's just getting worse and worse as the summer months appear. So, Steve, didn't you say the sun came up there at an unusual hour this morning?
Yeah, 4:59 a.m. is when the sun rises now here in the southeast corner of Alaska. And
Good grief, man.
I was looking at the sun actually sets tonight at 8:59, so that's a little over 2 hours from now. And Anchorage, which is about 1,000 miles north of us, their sun actually comes up later, but right now their sunset is not until about 10:30 at night. So yeah, I think they have.
I have a hard time
they have
believing
5 hours of daylight whenever they get the peak of the summer.
You mean of nighttime?
Yeah, nighttime. Yep,
But I mean, in the wintertime, it's probably reversed, right? They only have probably 5 hours of light.
exactly. I remember when we first moved here, the sun set at about 3:15 in the afternoon, and that sucked.
Wow.
Gosh.
And you felt like at 6 o'clock, you felt like it was time to go to bed because it had been dark for 3 hours already. So yeah, it's interesting just how different it is way up north, and we bought these curtains, believe it or not, that are blackout curtains. Okay, I checked that off the list for the podcast, and these things do a great job. But we can't figure out how to get the curtains close enough to the wall where the light doesn't
Where the
come
stake
around them.
is?
Yeah, and yeah. So we have to maybe see finally me buying some stakes to help press them against the wall. I don't know.
There you go. Man, we're not even. We're on minute 4, and you've already got both of them out of the way. So you're
Hey
covered.
guys, y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all episode 15.
Yeah, mic drop. He's out.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're done. He doesn't even have to talk anymore this episode.
Yeah.
I know he's just he's
Been burning the midnight oil at work, so he probably needs to take a nap.
Oh, totally.
Keith, you want to talk about the teenage correspondent?
So our teenage correspondents have been doing pretty good for us. And by the way, in the coming weeks, what we're going to be doing is a tournament, bracket style tournament off of all of we have eight teenage words of the day so far. So let's go through them. We've got lit, savage, hard pass, right? Okay, let's think. What else do we got? We got lit, savage, hard pass. Then we fam, and what? And finna. Okay. Yeah. And let's see. I've got the whole thing here. Lit, savage, extra, hard pass, extra, finna, fam. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and the hundo P.
Yes, that's right. Hundo P. And what was the female correspondence? She had skirt. Skirt. Yeah, skirt. So there's 8 total teenage words. So what we're going to do is a bracket style vote off on Twitter. Okay. So we're going to do 4 first, and then we're going to plug the episodes on each one of them. So in case our listeners need to kind of bone up on what they mean, they can go back and listen to them. And then after we get those 4, we're going to get the next 4. And then the final 4 of both of those, we're going to pick the top 2 of each one of those, and then we're going to have a final 4. And at the end, we're going to see which teenage word of the day would our listeners most likely use in conversation. And so we'll have a winner, and that winner is going to get some a testosterone. It's going to be a teenage correspondent shirt. So we're excited to give our winner that one. So anyway, but yeah, so what we're trying to tell you now is now we've got a little bit of a break in the action. And so they've been getting pretty confident with their verbiage and trying to teach us the new school way. So what we thought we would do is a reverse teenage correspondent idea. And so what we're going to do is for the next couple of episodes, we are going to teach our teenage correspondents how to be cool, old school. Right? So we're going to teach them some of our words, and their job is to go out into their community and use it at least once and have to tell us how they did it and what the reaction was. It's going to be great. So
I can't wait to hear about the teenage correspondents talking about how they refer to something as off the chain.
Right. Yeah, I know. So,
yeah.
So that's coming up in the next few episodes. So stay tuned. It's time for us to turn it around on them for a couple of episodes. So, and speaking of having to do things for teenage correspondents, Noel, just like you're talking about, new car buying tips. You just have been through this. You've got some good experience. I know I want to learn from the master. So, and I'm sure our listeners would love any information they could get. Fire away, bro.
So the thing to know, the first thing to know about buying a new car, at least, is that new cars are commodities. I mean, every dealership out there has the same car, or they even have access to the same car. And so, like, if you're looking for a certain make and model with certain options on it, there may only be 3 or 4 models, 3 or 4 cars in the country that meet your exact specifications. But every dealership out there can fight over those cars and try to get them transferred to their dealership to sell the car to you. And so the thing that I do, and it's worked extremely well, is using the fact that it is a commodity is start a price war. And so what I do is I figure out exactly what I want. I go to dealerships and I test drive and find, the make and model and the options and the colors and all that kind of stuff, and figure out exactly what I want. And I put together what I call a build. And then I start mining contacts at all the different dealerships across the nation. Start in my local area, of course, and then go into some of the larger cities around me. And then I start pulling together just a list of salespeople at the different dealerships. And then I send them an email, and I'm very upfront with them. And I just say, look, I'm wanting to buy a car. You have to be serious. You have to be a real buyer. Like, I don't do this if I'm just kind of kicking tires. When I start this process that I'm talking about, I'm actually going to make a purchase. And that causes the dealers to take you seriously, and they respond and they work with you to try to get a price because they believe they will sell a car to you, and they're trying to sell you a car. So I send an email to them first and just say, look, this is what I want to buy. I want to buy this week or this month or these 30 days or whatever. And I tell them I'm reaching out to several different dealers, and I'm going to give my business to the one that gives me the best price. And if you'd like to participate, send me your best price. If not, understand. I'll talk to somebody else. But telling them that up front kind of keeps the air clear. They're not under the impression that you're not loyal to anybody, and you have to tell them, look, I'm not loyal to anybody. I want to get the best price. I want to pay the lowest amount possible for this car. And so they will send you the best price. And I tell you, I have saved thousands of dollars doing it this way. And, the last car I bought a car from my brother and his wife last year. I had dealers in San Antonio bidding against dealers in Austin. And then all of a sudden the Houston market, one of the places in Houston just started being very aggressive to get my business. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, one of the dealers I was talking to in Dallas just went berserk. And they even went so far as to say they would drive the car down here and she was going to take a flight back to Dallas just to make the deal. The thing is at the end of the month, all these dealers have certain quotas and stuff that they're trying to, they get paid bonuses if they sell so many units in a month. And you do this at the end of the month because you'll find the dealers that are near these different thresholds, and the ones that just need a couple more units to get to that next threshold or that next bonus level will go berserk. And those are the ones that you can use to get a freakishly good deal. And I think I saved them like $12,000 or $13,000 on their car doing this from what they would have paid if they'd have just gone into the dealer and bought it from them. So it's worked. So you start a price war. My strategy is always to be up front and tell the dealers that I'm talking to through email, this is what I'm doing. If you don't want to participate, don't. But I am going to buy something, and I usually send out about 15 or so emails, and then I usually get about 10 of them back. And then from that 10, they start falling off because the price gets too low and they don't want to participate. And I usually get down to about 4 or 5, and I play them against each other until finally somebody says, I can't go any lower than that. If you can get that deal, take it. And that's when I know I've got a good deal. That's cool. And then from then on, I just talk to the dealer and say, okay, I'm coming in on Tuesday. I'll be there at 3:00, have the car ready. I'll sign the papers, and I go in, sign the papers, and I'm on my way. So I never do my financing through the dealership. I never do my trade-in through the dealer either. I always go to like Texas Auto Direct or CarMax or something like that and sell it to them. Almost every dealership out there these days will buy your car without you having to buy one of theirs. That's something that used to be specific to CarMax and AutoNation, but now pretty much every dealership out there does that. So last trade-in I did like that. I took my car to 4 different places. You kind of waste a day doing that, but I also made, between the lowest bid I got and the highest bid, it was about $7,000. So that's a pretty good savings. I got a lot more money just by putting in some work. So anyway, that's worked for me for sure. And
that's awesome.
If you ever need help buying a car, I'd be happy to answer questions about it and kind of give you some more details on how I do this. I've actually thought about doing this as a business on the side, but I'm too busy, and I don't think my company will like it anyway. But
man, that's pretty genius.
We'll do that,
and it kind of makes them work for you instead of the other way around.
Exactly. There's some dealers that don't like it, and and I tell them, like, I know this sucks for the seller, but it's great for the buyer, and that's me, and I'm the one that's calling the shots here. I'm the one with the money, and I'm the one that decides who I give my business to. And I don't care if you're down the street from me or if you're across the country. You can put a car on a truck and send it to anywhere. So I bought a car for my daughter in Orlando, Florida this way, and they put it on a truck, shipped it to us, and there you go. So it takes some work, but I've never regretted it. I've always felt like I got the best deal, and it's certainly the easiest way to buy a car for sure. So it's a little different. first two cars I bought, I went in and did that back and forth thing from the desk, you know, where they go from, let me go talk to my sales manager, and they come back and play in that game. And I just decided there's got to be a better way to do this. And I've done it this way ever since.
Awesome. Golly, what a smart way to do it.
Anyway,
it really is. I'm gonna have to.
So how many cars have you bought doing this? How many cars have you bought doing this?
I've bought myself pretty much every car we've bought since 99 or 2000. Wow. Every new car that we bought, I've bought that way. And I've only bought like 2 used cars in my lifetime, I think. I usually buy new, and that's where it works. I don't really have a lot of experience buying used cars, but on the new car side, I've been doing this since the internet's been out there, because back in 99, 2000s, when the internet department, every dealership had an internet department and an internet sales manager, and that's who I work with. It's a great way to buy a car.
So let me ask you on that. When you're doing this, is it something where you have to basically pay cash, or is it something where they'll still do, do the deals with you to where you can,
Yeah. I usually get, if I do finance it, I'll finance it outside. Like I'll go to, my bank or really my credit union. And the last car I bought, I actually went to my credit union and then went to another lending institution and got another rate on a loan, and took my lowest rate. And when I was finishing the deal with the dealership, he asked me if I was financing, and I said, well, I've got this rate. If you can beat it, then I'll go with you. But he said he couldn't beat the rate. He got close to it, but then he gave me extra incentives. So, he threw in another $3,000 on the deal, and you never leave cash on the table. So I took it. And then about a week later, I refinanced it through
Oh, that's cool. You still got the better deal.
Credit union. Yeah, got $3,000 in cash, and then turned around, refinanced it, and then got the good rate. So it's, the payments are lower because the principal's lower, and then I get the low rate too from the and I tell them I'm going to do that too. I'm like, look, I'll take your rate, I'll take the cash, but just know I'm going to refinance. And they're like, I don't care, it's fine.
That's cool.
So, but I usually tell them it's a cash deal, or I'm going to be financing out. I'm using outside finance, and I never include the trade-in, because there's 3 balloons that they squeeze to get a deal. They'll either lower the price on the car, but then they'll give you less or more for your trade-in, or they'll jack around with the rates, and then they'll find some way to make some money off of you. But taking all those things out of it and just going on the price of the car, you save a lot of money. So
that's good. I like that. I appreciate you telling us about that, because like I say, it's tough. Buying a car is a pain. And, where I am, I don't have the market to where I have a really big city nearby, but being able to do that through email where, they're willing to drive miles for your business, that's not a bad deal. So,
yeah, they'll ship it too. We had a truck take our car from Orlando to Texas for, I think we paid the guy $500 to ship it to us. And if you look on your invoice, when you buy a car in a dealership, you're paying for that. It's a transfer fee or the transportation fees or something. So we're just paying that out of our pocket directly to the truck driver versus paying it through the dealership. But for every car you buy, you're going to pay that fee anyway. So I don't mind doing it myself. And they deliver it to your house, and then your paperwork comes in through like FedEx, and you sign the papers, and FedEx the papers back, and never set foot in the dealership, and your car shows up at your doorstep.
That's awesome. I will be calling you and talking more in depth with you as we do this in a couple of months. So that's good.
Yeah, it's I hate buying. I used to hate and buying cars just sucks.
Agree.
The whole process is so slanted against the buyer. But things like this kind of help kind of even the playing field a little bit. But
Absolutely.
Can I share some happy news?
Yes, please.
So we talked in the past about that Pacific Ocean garbage patch, right?
we were talking about that in one of our previous
Yes, we were.
podcasts.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm happy to say that once again, the Testosterone Zone is making the world better. Since we've talked about this, there is now this, and Keith, I know you brought to my attention a plastic eating microbe.
Yes.
That
Wow.
that is now available. They're going to use to help fight this garbage patch and basically help try to, I guess, obliterate it and remove it from the ocean.
See, that's where the Testosterone Zone is literally making waves, and we are making things happen. I'm telling you. If it wasn't for your article, this would not have been discovered. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
Steve is single-handedly saving the planet.
I know.
You are welcome.
I'm impressed, man. I'm
Thank
like,
you. I knew him.
when Steve talks, scientists listen.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I'd like to thank this podcast for giving me that platform to share my ideas and help align the priorities of this world as we need them to be. Because Lord knows if people listen to me and you and Noel, we'd be a heck of a lot better off. So
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I completely agree. There's no doubt of that.
Yeah. Now let me go put my boots on.
There you go. You were wading pretty deep in that one. I like
Exactly.
it.
I still like our whole propane idea, going out there with a propane torch and a backpack. And
I'm telling you, if you could put some of this to your back and make a jetpack out of a couple of them, just fly out there. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's awesome.
That'd be a heck of a lot more fun than a organism that eats plastic.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I mean,
How are they going to contain this thing once it's done eating the plastic?
because it's going to sit there and go, want more.
Want
It's going to be
more.
like a sci-fi episode.
We could hundo P on it.
There you go.
The solution is more Hundo P.
Yeah. Yes.
It is. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. You're right. We could use some of our teen words and make sure that thing just cowers in front of us. Well, speaking of the Pacific Ocean, I wanted to give a shout out to everybody around the Pacific Ocean for following us. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We're very excited and thankful, and we just wanted to take a second to tell everybody all over the place how much we appreciate them. Now we're literally getting a Pacific Rim thing going. Australia, we just got some listeners in Australia, and as far as the just today, and then as far as the U.S., I mean, we've got a ton of states: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 states. And the neat thing about it is California, Oregon, and Washington State, Alaska, and even the country of Canada. So we basically represent the entire west coast of the Pacific, all the way down to Mexico, and hopefully we can have some listeners there too. Being in Texas, I would think that we'd have some friends down there. But then with Australia too, we've got the South Pacific in that way, and so we're pretty excited. So we just want to let all of our listeners know, and everywhere that we're being able to reach out to, like I said, we've got Australia, Thailand, India, the United Kingdom, and Canada and the U.S. too. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries and all those states. So thank you for being listeners. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate you listening, and please let others know about us if you're enjoying it, because we really want to make sure we keep this thing growing and get great feedback for future episodes. So just wanted to say thank you. Just take a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So
if we keep solving more of the world's problems, we're really going to grow in popularity.
It's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be pretty easy. So,
what problem do you guys want to take on next? You want to fight hunger or what?
Why not?
How about finding some way for the Astros to actually score some runs?
Oh my gosh!
Against the Yankees, good.
I'm telling you, I think that's a good idea because they're having a hard time lately.
It's bad.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know. I need to go to more games.
Are you the problem?
I think I am. I really do. It's a certain seat that I keep sitting in at every game, and I need to move to another one. It's my fault.
Yeah, it is.
I'll take the blame for it.
That's all right.
So
I think one of the things I want to try to do is get rid of all my dead batteries.
Yeah.
I want to give all my dead batteries away free of charge.
Wow.
I don't want that's funny.
Wow.
That's funny though.
I'm sorry.
That one hurt.
We were with the zoo last weekend, and there was an elephant there, and the zookeeper there asked me, if I knew what you call an elephant that doesn't matter. Do you know what you call an elephant that doesn't matter?
No idea.
I know.
Irrelevant.
Oh my gosh.
It was news to me.
It's painful. Oh, wow. Oh.
Guys, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
What do you call a fat psychic?
A fat psychic? No.
I'm afraid to ask.
I don't know.
A fortune teller. I really found a good webpage lately that's giving me some good stuff.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Don't share with us, or you'll give it all away. These are good.
Totally my secret.
My secret stuff, man.
Yeah, keep it your secret. I can tell I'm getting older because I'm having a shorter memory. I seem to have forgotten all my boomerang jokes, but I'm sure they'll come back to me.
Wow.
Oh, Lordy. That's awesome.
So,
man.
hey, shooting from the hip, what do y'all think about the draft?
The NFL draft. The jokes are over, right?
Do what?
If the jokes are over, the next joke is Baker Mayfield going number 1 overall to the Browns. That's hilarious.
Hey, congratulations! You played for Cleveland.
Yeah. Sorry,
man. Yeah, boy, that's bad.
Your award for winning the Heisman Trophy.
You play for the Browns.
Cleveland.
I don't know.
Enjoy.
Obviously our allegiance to Tech, we have a hard time having any love for Baker Mayfield, but there must be a skill set that he has that these NFL teams really want, because there was a story just yesterday about the Patriots trying to move up to the number 2 spot so they could take them in case Cleveland passed on them. And
wow.
Yeah, I did. I heard that.
That's we just see the brat that played for our school.
Yeah.
And oh well.
And in our conference.
Yeah.
He, you're right. He's a competitor, but I guess if you're a competitor like that, you got to have a little attitude to go with it. I just don't appreciate it. That's just me. But it teaches his own.
He goes over the edge. There's plenty of competitors that keep that bottled up and use it on the field as motivation, not like he's one of those brats that comes on the field and plays really well and then just tells you about how well he played to your face. It's like, come on, dude, don't just play the game and shut up.
I hear you. That's all right. Well, maybe this will decide if he's truly whatever everybody if he can turn the Browns around, then that was fun to say. Yeah, but then maybe there is something to him that we're not seeing. And again, we do have we have a little foggy eyes about that.
We'll really take the Browns to the Super Bowl, not just.
That joke will never get old. Oh my gosh,
never.
I tell you what, I've got to head out at like 4 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm going to call it good for the night.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's probably a good reason to end here, man. And I've been hearing the severe storm alerts going off in the background, man. You all right?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, our weather radio is not happy tonight. We have some serious storms going on around here. Hail and I mean, I keep waiting for my wife to bust through the door, get off, but she hasn't yet. So so far so good. It may either that or I'm going to walk outside. Everybody's going to be in a bathtub with a mattress, so we'll find out either way. But I think I better cut it off just for that.
Which is good, because in a couple of weeks or maybe even next week, we're not sure, we're going to have a weatherman on the podcast to talk about severe weather and in preparation.
Can't get here
stuff.
fast enough.
That's what I was about to say. This would have been the perfect episode for him to be
It
here.
really would have been. Like, what does Code Brown mean? That means you're
change your pants.
you need to change your shorts because there's a tornado coming. And tornado's on the way. Oh, hey guys, it's been fun. Y'all
enjoyed it, guys. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see y'all next in episode 15.
Sounds good.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Testosterone Zone. We sure had a blast visiting with you. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, leave us some feedback, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
All Testosterone podcast episodes are written and produced by Noel, Keith, and Steve unless otherwise noted.
The opinions expressed in the Testosterone podcast are our own and not those of our employers, families, parents, kids, dogs, cats, your mom, or any other entity Noel, Keith, or Steve are affiliated with now, in the past, or in the future, or ever.